Said this the Kingship Podcast, living fast on the wingtips. G5 when we dash, getting fly. This light from our eyes, no we never fold. Speak the truth and we getting loose, standing on our toes. Said this the Kingship Podcast, living fast on the wingtips. G5 when we
Yo, what's up? What's happening? How y'all living? How y'all doing? It's Kingship, the Kingship Podcast, and we in for another episode. It's gonna be our third one on the YouTube. I think it's like the 9th one for the actual podcast itself. So yeah, I appreciate y'all tuning in. We got a lot to talk about today. Actually, not even so much that it's a lot to talk about. It's really one topic that I really want to focus on, and really just get people's thoughts, opinions, and just kind of get the conversation going. It's going to be a delicate topic. It's kind of heavy today, so bear with me. But yeah, like I always do, I'm going to start off with the mental health check-in. Coming into the space right now, it's a lot going on personally, just trying to take it day by day. It's never easy. As you know, most of y'all know by now that I am an educator. So, I'm out here just trying to make sure as we close up to the wind down towards the end of the school year, I should say. So there's that. At the same time, last week was Teacher Appreciation Week. So shout out to all the educators out there who put it on the front lines day in and day out. And even though we just get a week and, a week to show our appreciation, just know you appreciate it 365. The work don't stop, the grind don't stop. We always gonna make sure that the students get whatever it is that they need to put them in the best position to be successful. And we want to make sure that we're adhering to that, to making sure that we deliver that message to them day in and day out. So salute to all the educators out there that's continuing to put forth the effort that's needed. With that being said, though, we gonna jump right into it. Most of you, if you've been living under a rock somewhere, or if you don't know what's going on, apparently the Supreme Court draft was leaked of the case Roe Vs Wade. For those of you who do not know what that case is, it is pretty much the ability to whether or not to allow abortions in the United States of America or not. I'm going to start off by saying, first and foremost, I am a man, a black man at that. My opinion really does not matter on this topic, to say the least. I am not a woman, never have been a woman, never has paraded around as one, no way, shape, or form. So when it comes to this topic itself, it's one of those things that I try to tread lightly, one. Two, as a father to a little girl, I also understand that there are certain things that I just will not know as a man, and all I can do is try to educate myself on the topic at hand. With that being said, it was said during this draft that a lot, basically what it would come down to is they would overturn the ruling right now, which would then cause abortion to be illegal in many states, and a lot of states to follow suit within that path. Personally, I think it's really interesting because, one, most of these people that are making these decisions aren't women. So to me, for you to sit up here and say, I think it's okay for me to sit up here and not only put a decision on you to basically say, hey, you shouldn't do this. Hey, you shouldn't do that. As a man, I wouldn't want nobody to tell me how to live my life, how to conduct my body in a certain way. We're all grown. Especially once you get to that point of 18, you are pretty much, in the eyes of society, a grown adult in the eyes to make decisions as you see fit. Right, wrong, or indifferent, those decisions are on you. You may not necessarily agree with what somebody does, but honestly, that ain't none of your business anyway. If you're not going to pay for their bills, if you're not going to help them out in any way, shape, or form, it really doesn't matter. And I think this topic is really redundant to me because it's like, at the end of the day, You don't know why that woman is making that choice. You really don't. Rape, sexual assault, just don't have the funds. There's a bevy of different reasons. Look, especially in the Black community, women die from having kids. That is a real thing. And it has been said, and it's not even been said, it is known, it's a known fact that Black women have a harder time birthing children than their white counterparts. And they don't get the necessary care and treatment as they deserve when they do go into the hospital to give birth. When they having complication, pains of that nature, and they're letting doctors know, they're being ignored. So it's just really interesting to me when we have these conversations about why we want to make a certain decision for other people, but you wouldn't want somebody to make that decision for you. I'll give you a story. Most of you know I'm from Cleveland, Ohio. There's I believe I'm not sure if it's still there, but it was an abortion clinic in Ohio that I used to pass through when I used to take my mom to work all the time when I was living in the city. And I would see people out here all the time with signs with, the gruesome signs where fetuses and blood, gore, the graphic signs are basically saying it is life here, when it starts to come, and all of these different things. And I'm not very technical on the nature of everything, so please bear with me. I'm not going to act like I'm not going to sit here and act like I am I'm very well educated on the topic. I ain't one of those people. I'm just giving my opinion. But I used to see it every day when I used to go by, and I used to ask my mom, I was like, it's real interesting. A lot of these people that are out here with signs, if you were to ask them to donate to that parent to help them fund the food, care, what have you, would you do it? Most of them not doing that. Let's even say if they do keep the baby. Let's say if they do keep the child and they put this child up for adoption. We all know that the adoption and foster care system is shitty, to say the least. Terrible. There are some kids that have been blessed to go to good homes, but there's a lot of kids that go through the system that don't get treated well at all. They don't get treated well at all. How about it's like we want to sit up here and say, we're pro-life, we want to do this. Whatever side of the coin you are on, how can you be pro-life and there's people dying in the streets every day? How are you pro-life when there's homeless folks out here right outside your doorstep and you walk past them every day? It's Black kids getting killed every day, but you pro-life. It took till 2022 for an anti-lynching bill to be put into effect, but you are pro-life. It was okay for some people to put on the ballot to sit up here and say, you know what? I'm okay with a Black person being lynched in America and that not be deemed a hate crime in 2022. But people walking out here screaming pro-life. I'm pro whatever decision you feel is comfortable to make with your body, and whatever decision is best for you, you do what is best for you. Because I think a lot of people need to really understand that at the end of the day, what you do in your household ain't going to affect me. What you do in your household don't affect me. It's not, unless it is something that is going to affect my money, something like that, my kids, my family structure, anything like that. It ain't got nothing to do with me. And it really don't have nothing to do with you. And I think a lot of times, especially here with the government and things like that, we'll fund all these other programs. We'll throw money to other countries for whatever reason, whatever the case may be. But we got issues here on the home soil and we just overlook it. And it's funny how we'll put up a fuss about stupid shit. But we gonna tell a woman how they should, have kids, when they should have kids, when it's the appropriate time. I'm gonna throw this question out to the males, you know what I'm saying? And this just being real talk. You can't have kids unless you get a vasectomy. How would you feel? What would you do? What would you do? What would you do? Are you gonna be like, okay, I'll take that? You wouldn't. And I think it's just real interesting how we can sit up here. First off, regardless of how you feel, there are good men out here that's taking care of kids. That's a whole different conversation. And there's some people that's not, and that's a whole different conversation. But the conversation right now is, why are we telling women what to do with their bodies if you wouldn't want somebody to do the same? Especially these crusty old ass white men. And let's be real, a lot of these people that's making these decisions is white folks. Okay? Is white men. Let's call it what it is. That's the realization of it, is white men that's out here making these decisions, out here doing what they feel is right, or in the name of God. And it's funny, when people bring God into situations, when you really sit up here and whatever version of the Bible that you choose to look at, you'll sit up here and say that this is right under God's eyes, but killing a black person ain't. I was always taught growing up, I grew up in the church, sin is a sin. It don't matter if it's murder, it don't matter if it's this or that. It is a sin, regardless of the fact. Regardless of the fact, it does not matter. So if it does not matter in any way, shape, or form under that circumstance, why does it matter here? And I think a lot of times we get lost in that. Or I'm not gonna say some people get lost in that. And this power trip that folks got. You cannot control people because you don't know how to control yourself, or you need that power trip or that ego. Honestly, I think a lot of these folks that's out here making decisions not going to be here in the next 20-something odd years. Folks over here looking old and decrepit, damn near if you blow on them, they're going to turn into damn dust, and making decisions knowing that they're not going to be affected by those decisions in the next 15 to 20, maybe the next 10 years. And that's not wishing death on anybody. That's just talking about life expectancy. That's just a realization of the fact. Everybody don't come from money. Ain't nobody got a silver spoon in their mouth. There's a lot of people that go through their own trials and tribulations trying to figure out things. But I just wanted to come on here and talk about this real quick. Like I said, it really wasn't going to be too much of a long video. There's a lot of, when it comes to the podcast, there's going to be a couple short videos, quick hitters. Some's going to be a little longer. But I really wanted to come on here and I'll debate this a little bit more when I have a special guest coming on next week. And I'll hold that on the wraps of who I'll bring on. But I just really think that we really need to really evaluate ourselves as a society. It's a lot of people that's making decisions and making folks feel a certain type of way because they want this overarching control over people, when in reality that should never be the case. At the end of the day, it's a woman's body. Let her do what she chooses. If she's not physically harming you, putting you in danger, it is what it is. Am I pro-life, pro-choice, or whatever? I'm pro whatever the woman wants to do with her body, let her do. If she want to have a baby, let her have a baby. If she want to go do what she needs to do to get that abortion, or to make that happen, she needs to do that if that's what she feels to do. Because here's the thing that people are not really thinking about either. It just as hard as it is to have that kid, it is just as hard as to give it up. And you really don't know what that woman is going through when she has to make that decision, or why that decision had to be made, or how long it took her to come to that decision. And if she does go through that, that is a decision that she has to live with for a lifetime. So to sit up here and force people to do something because you don't understand it doesn't mean that doesn't make it right. And I think a lot of people need to take the time to really understand why people do certain things. Understand different positions, perspectives. A lot of people just saying that, it's just my perspective. I'm too good. It is what it is. All right, cool. Let it be what it be. All right. But at the end of the day, let these women make their own decision. Let these women make their own choices. And if you don't agree with it, hey, tough titty, it is what it is. That ain't your business. Shit, you wouldn't have an intercourse with her to make it happen. So why does it matter? If you were in the room with her when that baby was being conceived, hey, that may be a different discussion. But most of these people ain't never met none of these women, ain't never gonna meet none of these women, ain't sat down in the room with none of these women, ain't even had a realistic conversation to understand why these decisions get made. But we'll stand up there in front of people and lobby and trying to put things into effect and make laws and be like, well, this is why this needs to happen and why da. So, I'm going to go ahead and end this video, like I said before, I'm pro whatever the woman wants to do with her body, let her damn do it. If that's what she want to do. At the end of the day, we need to understand the decision is hers and hers alone, so we don't know what it took for her to get to that decision to make that. Okay? Be respectful about that and understand everybody in this world don't think the same. Everybody don't come from the same walk of life. Understand different perspectives. I think a lot of times, a lot of people is in everybody else's business instead of their own. Take care of your shit first. And when you take care of your shit, maybe you can help somebody else with theirs. But even then, if they don't need your help, it is what it is. A lot of us need to really understand that. And I think once we start to understand that as a society, people will be a lot better off. Because there's a lot of people that's in everybody else's business that ain't really got their shit together and really telling folks what to do. And I see a lot of that out here now, these self-help gurus or whatever. But that's another topic for another day. But you know what? It's King Shells again of the Kingship Podcast. Y'all know where y'all can catch me at. You can follow me on IG at KINGPODCAST. That's Kingship Podcast on IG. Hey, make sure y'all like, share, subscribe this video. Get it out there, whether you agree with it or not. Hey, let's have a conversation about it. You know what I'm saying? Please comment below and just let me know how y'all feel. You may not agree with it, and that's fine. Tell me your perspective of why you don't agree with it. And if you do agree with it, tell me why as well. Again, we just out here to have a conversation. Hey, don't be rude, don't be crazy, and we'll keep it going. Until next time, I'll holla at y'all. Peace.
Hey. Look.